Everyone wants to be rich young. But what are you willing to sacrifice? The truth is, the price is higher than you think. First, there's the sleep. Remember those lazy Sunday mornings? Kiss them goodbye. You're now running on fumes, fueled by caffeine and ambition. Early mornings, late nights, pushing harder, always chasing that next milestone. It's more than just being tired. It's a constant state of exhaustion that becomes your new normal. Then comes the food. Healthy meals become a luxury you can't afford the time for. It's takeout, fast food, anything quick and easy. Your body pays the price. The energy crashes, the stomach aches, the general feeling of sluggishness. You justify it as temporary, but temporary can become permanent. Your hobbies? Remember those? They slowly fade away, replaced by work. That guitar collecting dust in the corner, the hiking boots you haven't touched in months. You tell yourself you'll get back to them someday, but someday never seems to arrive. It's a little piece of yourself that you're slowly losing. The news, the world, everything outside your immediate goals starts to blur. You become hyper-focused, almost tunnel-visioned. Global events, social issues, they feel distant, irrelevant. You're so consumed with your own ambition that you forget there's a world outside your bubble. Simple things start to feel like chores. Grocery shopping, laundry, cleaning your apartment. They become tasks to be squeezed in, rather than enjoyable parts of life. You resent the time they take away from your work, adding another layer of stress to your already overloaded plate. You start to compare yourself to everyone. Their successes become your failures, their happiness your misery. Social media becomes a highlight reel of everything you haven't achieved, fueling your insecurities and driving you to work even harder, trapping you in a vicious cycle. Friendships begin to fray. You miss birthdays, cancel plans, become increasingly distant. Your friends understand, at first, but eventually, they move on. You're left with a sinking feeling that you're missing out on something important, something irreplaceable. Family gatherings become awkward. They ask about your life, your relationships, your well-being, and you realize you have nothing to share but work. You feel a growing disconnect, a sense of being on a different path, leaving them behind in your relentless pursuit of wealth. Dating becomes a nightmare. You're too busy, too stressed, too unavailable. Relationships fizzle out before they even begin. You start to wonder if you're capable of genuine connection, if you've sacrificed your capacity for love on the altar of ambition. You become obsessed with efficiency. Every minute must be optimized. Every action must have a purpose. Spontaneity disappears, replaced by rigid schedules and relentless self-monitoring. You're turning yourself into a machine, sacrificing joy for productivity. The pressure intensifies. You feel like you're constantly running on a treadmill, terrified of falling behind. The fear of failure becomes crippling, driving you to work even harder, even when you're on the verge of burnout. It's a relentless cycle of anxiety and self-doubt. Your mental health suffers. Sleepless nights, constant stress, and a growing sense of isolation take their toll. You become irritable, anxious, and prone to panic attacks. You start to question your sanity, wondering if it's all worth it. You start to cut corners, morally, little white lies, bending the rules, justifying your actions as necessary for success. You compromise your values, slowly chipping away at your integrity. You become someone you never intended to be. Guilt becomes your constant companion. You feel guilty for neglecting your relationships, for sacrificing your health, for compromising your values. The weight of your choices bears down on you, making it harder and harder to enjoy your success. You lose sight of your original purpose. You started with a dream, a passion, a desire to make a difference. But somewhere along the way, the money became the goal itself. You've lost sight of why you started, leaving you feeling empty and unfulfilled. You realize you're surrounded by people who want something from you. Your success attracts leeches, hangers-on, and fair-weather friends. You struggle to trust anyone, constantly questioning their motives. You're alone in a crowded room. You wake up one day and realize you've missed it. You miss the weddings, the births, the graduations. You miss the laughter, the tears, the shared moments that make life meaningful. You traded it all for wealth, and now you can't get it back. Your youth is gone. And ultimately, you might realize that the wealth you accumulated doesn't fill the void. The fancy cars, the big house, the luxury vacations, they're just distractions. Underneath it all, there's a hollowness that no amount of money can ever fill. You discover the real cost of your ambition. The truth? Riches gained at the expense of your youth often leave you rich in assets but bankrupt in life. Choose wisely what you value most before it's too late.